Not all places on Earth are welcoming to humans. There are lands that are as beautiful as a picture, but hidden beneath that beauty are deadly traps. Today, we will explore the most dangerous places in nature, where every step is a gamble between life and death. And if you watch to the end, you will know which are the most dangerous lands that have haunted humanity for centuries. 1. Grand Prismatic Spring, Yellowstone, USA. In the vast wilderness of Yellowstone National Park, USA, there is a natural wonder that leaves anyone speechless when standing before its beauty. Grand Prismatic Spring, the largest hot spring in the United States. From above, the water surface glows like a giant rainbow, blue in the center, surrounded by bands of orange, red, yellow, and green, like a surreal painting created by nature. But beneath the ethereal beauty lies a deadly trap. The water temperature here can exceed 70 degrees Celsius, enough to scald your skin in an instant. The beautiful colors around the lake are not due to minerals, but to the thermophilic bacteria that thrive in this extreme environment. They are a silent warning that this place is not for humans. Since the 19th century, many people have slipped or tried to get close enough to take pictures, and they have never returned. Their bodies completely disintegrated in the boiling water within minutes. The Grand Prismatic Spring is a perfect example of the paradox of nature, where beauty and death exist in the same moment. The beauty is captivating, seductive, but also cold as a reminder. Not everything that glitters is safe. Nature always knows how to make people bow before its power. 2. The Sundarbans, India and Bangladesh. Amid the mighty Ganges Delta, where tributaries weave a maze of deep green, lies a forest shrouded in mist and mystery. The Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest. From above, it looks like a giant green carpet stretching to the horizon. But don't let its tranquil appearance fool you, because inside it lies one of the most dangerous places on the planet. The Sundarbans is home to notorious predators: Bengal tigers, saltwater crocodiles, king cobras, and countless disease-carrying insects. Here, humans are not the rulers, just interlopers. Locals rely on the forest for a living, gathering honey, catching fish or shrimp. But each trip into the forest could be their last. Dozens go missing each year, attacked by tigers, or simply lost in the thick, brackish mist. What makes the Sundarbans even more terrifying are the swimming tigers. They move silently between the canals, their yellow eyes peeping above the water, then attack in a split second. Locals once devised a way to survive. They wore masks on the back of their heads to fool the tigers into thinking humans were looking directly at them. But nature is not so easily fooled, and many people never return. During the monsoon season, when storms roll in from the Bay of Bengal, winds howl, seas rise, and thunder rumbles, the Sundarbans turns into a veritable nightmare. This is more than just a forest. It's a place where the line between life and death is thinner than ever. Amidst the tangled trees, the mud, and the murky water, one could hear the breath of nature, fierce, wild, and unforgiving. 3. The Great Blue Hole, Belize. Between the sunny Caribbean Sea and colorful coral reefs of Belize, there is a giant black indentation. The Great Blue Hole, a famous and one of the most dangerous sinkholes in the world. From the air, it appears like a giant eye silently watching over the ocean. A perfect circle nearly 300 meters in diameter and more than 120 meters deep. Once upon a time, this was a dry cave system. When the ice melted at the end of the Ice Age, the sea rose, flooding the area and turning it into the deep blue hole we see today. Many divers consider this a paradise for exploration. But one small mistake could mean their grave. As they dive deeper, the light gradually fades until there is only absolute darkness. Sudden temperature changes, reduced oxygen, and a phenomenon called nitrogen narcosis cause dizziness and disorientation. Sharp limestone ledges hidden in the darkness can cut the diving rope at any time. Many people have been sucked into underground tunnels and never returned to the surface. More than 90 meters below the surface, the world becomes completely silent. No bubbles, no sound. Just your own heartbeat and endless darkness. The Great Blue Hole is where humans realize the ocean is not just a mesmerizing blue beauty, but also a deep abyss of mystery and danger. It is a reminder that no matter how advanced technology becomes, we are still just small guests before the mighty power of nature. 4. Nyiragongo Volcano, Democratic Republic of Congo. In the middle of the African jungle, where the border between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda meets, there is a mountain that is always awake. Nyiragongo, one of the most dangerous volcanoes on the planet. From a distance, the peak appears to be sleeping in the clouds. But when night falls, the red light from the crater glows like the beating heart of the earth. What makes Nyiragongo unique is the massive lava lake that lies within the mountain. The lava is boiling, swirling, and glowing like a sea of fire. At any moment, the pressure can build up and the entire mountain could erupt without warning. In 2002, Nyiragongo went berserk. In a matter of hours, lava was rushing toward the city of Goma at nearly 60 kilometers per hour, burning everything in its path, houses, cars, and people. Nearly 400,000 people were forced to flee in panic. The sky lit up as if hell had opened up right in the middle of the earth. To this day, the fissures at the foot of the mountain still widen each year, emitting heat like silent warnings. No one knows when they will awaken again. Tomorrow, or this very moment. Nyiragongo symbolizes the planet's anger, a place where humans are just bystanders, watching unchecked power. Amid the howling winds and the pungent smell of sulfur, you get a clear sense the Earth is alive, and it could explode at any moment. 5. Rongbuk Glacier, Tibet. At the foot of the majestic Mount Everest, where the sky seems to touch the ground, stretches a giant white glacier, Rongbuk Glacier, also known as Rongbuk Glacier. From afar, it looks like an ice dragon slithering between the snowy Himalayan mountains, silent but majestic. This is the path that many climbers choose when they want to conquer Everest from Tibet. And it is also the place where many people have died forever. Rongbuk is breathtakingly beautiful, but brutally cold. Temperatures can drop below 30 degrees Celsius, and sudden blizzards can strike in minutes, wiping out all traces of the ice. Below the climbers' feet are deep crevasses, some as wide as abysses. One false step and you'll fall into eternal darkness. Every year, dozens of people go missing here. Some are swept away by the wind in a whiteout. Some fall into icy abysses, and some simply never return. When their bodies are found years later, they are still intact, frozen as if time had stopped. The Rongbuk Glacier is a place where man confronts the ultimate limits of existence, where will, faith, and pride are all tested. Here, nature does not need to roar to show its power. It is silent, cold, and waiting. Amidst the endless sea of white ice, you will understand that not all death comes from fire. Sometimes, the silence of ice is even more terrifying. 6. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. In northeastern Ethiopia, amidst the scorching desert and cracked earth, there exists a place known as the Gate to Hell. The Danakil Depression. This is one of the harshest and most dangerous places on the planet, where nature seems to have forgotten the existence of life. Daytime temperatures often exceed 50 degrees. The sweltering heat rising from the ground makes the air feel like it's melting. There's no rain, no trees, and hardly any life. Beneath your feet, the earth cracks open into countless fissures, where sulfur fumes and toxic gases escape, the acrid smell choking your lungs. The scene at Danakil is both surreal and terrifying. Neon blue lakes, acidic yellow streams, white plumes of smoke rising from the ground, and crystallized salt blanketed in ice. Under the bright sunlight, it all reflects into a strange world, hauntingly beautiful, but every breath a test of survival. The indigenous Afar people have lived here for centuries. In their legends, the Danakil is where the god of fire is sealed, and if humans dare dig deeper, his wrath will rise and consume the world. Many expeditions have come here to study it, but most have retreated early, stricken by toxic fumes, hallucinating from dehydration, or simply too much heat. The Danakil Depression is more than just a dead land. It's a reminder that Earth still has places where humans were never allowed to rule. A veritable hellscape, where beauty and destruction merge. 7. Shark Alley, South Africa. Off the coast of southern Africa, between Dyer Island and Geyser Island, there is a narrow underwater corridor of blue water. A place where the ocean becomes a battleground for life and death. It is called Shark Alley, the world's most famous shark alley. From above, the water appears calm and peaceful, like a mirror reflecting the sky. But beneath the surface lurk giant predators, hundreds of great white sharks. They move silently through the murky water, hunting for seals, their favorite prey. Every breeding season, thousands of seals gather around the island, and that's when the nightmare begins. The great white shark can shoot out of the water like a rocket, grabbing its prey in a split second. The scene is so fast that the human eye can barely follow it. The sound of water crashing, teeth hitting bone, and then the sea is calm again, as if nothing had happened. Today, Shark Alley attracts countless adventurous tourists to dive in the iron cage, to face the Lord of the Ocean, just a few centimeters away. But not all trips are safe. There have been cases of broken ropes, overturned cages, or unexpected incidents, turning the experience into tragedy. In Shark Alley, humans are not the hunters, but the hunted. Every heartbeat, every bubble of air can be a signal to alert the predators below you. Beneath the placid surface of the ocean, blood and instinct rule. And if you dare look into the deep black eyes of a great white shark, you will see what our ancestors knew all too well. Nature is never truly kind. 8 McMurdo Dry Valleys, Antarctica, amidst the endless white ice of Antarctica, where everything seems to be covered in snow and ice. There exists a land with no snow, no ice, and no life. That is McMurdo Dry Valleys, the driest valley on Earth, and also a place so cold and lonely that people feel like they are standing on another planet. Here, winds blow at up to 300 km/h, strong enough to sweep away any light object. The air is so dry that water evaporates before it freezes. For millions of years, not a drop of rain or snow has ever fallen here. No plants, no animals, not even bacteria can survive. McMurdo's surface resembles a miniature Mars, cracked rocks, frozen salt lakes, and dry red sand. That's why NASA chose it to simulate Martian conditions, train astronauts, and test space exploration equipment. No birdsong, no howling blizzard, just absolute silence. A silence that lets you hear your own heartbeat in the -20 degrees Celsius. Without special equipment, a person can only survive here for a few hours before their body collapses from cold and dehydration. McMurdo Dry Valleys is a place where life cannot take root, where nature has stripped away all nourishment, leaving only a lonely dead land. But it is in this most harsh place that we understand the fragility of life and the boundless power of the earth. Amid the icy, silent ocean, McMurdo needed no warning. It was itself a symbol of silent death. 9. Lake Natron, Tanzania. In the middle of Tanzania's arid Great Rift Valley lies a strange lake that makes one shiver just by looking at it. Lake Natron, where the water can turn life into stone. Under the sunlight, the lake's surface glows dark red, orange, and then blood purple, looking both mystical and terrifying. The reason lies in its special chemical composition. Lake Natron contains extremely high levels of salt and sodium carbonate minerals, along with temperatures that can reach up to 60 degrees Celsius. The water is so alkaline that it is more alkaline than bleach. Any creature that falls into it, be it a bird, a bat, or an insect, is petrified within hours. Their bodies dry up, minerals form around them, and they turn into gray-white statues, motionless in the still world. Photographer Nick Brandt has found dozens of such animals around the lake. They still look exactly as they did when they were alive. Wings spread out, eyes wide open, as if frozen in time. A haunting, cold, haunting beauty. Yet, miraculously, flamingos, a small species of pink flamingo, choose this deadly lake as their breeding ground. They build their nests on the hard salt layer, taking advantage of the temperature and alkalinity to avoid predators. Every year, thousands of flamingos still return here, painting the lake crimson like a small miracle in the middle of hell. Lake Natron is a place where life and death coexist in a silent dance. It reminds humans that nature is not only cruel, sometimes it also knows how to turn destruction into an artistic masterpiece. Amid the steam rising from the blood-red lake, you will feel the strangest thing. Death also looks fascinatingly beautiful. 10. Denali, Alaska, USA. In the frigid wilderness of Alaska, where snow-capped mountains soar high into the clouds, there is a peak known by many names. To the natives, it is Denali, meaning Great Mountain, and to the world, it is known as the most dangerous mountain in North America. Denali stands 20,000 feet tall, towering against the deep blue sky, surrounded by white clouds drifting like a sea of smoke. But that majestic beauty hides a terrifying truth. Conquering Denali is much more difficult than Everest, not because of the altitude, but because of the brutal weather and terrain. Temperatures can drop as low as 60 degrees. Winds can gust as high as 100 km/h, and there is only half the oxygen at the top of the mountain that there is at sea level. One small mistake, one misstep, one gust of wind can mean death. Mountaineers say that in the blizzard, you can no longer tell the difference between the ground and the sky. The wind howls like a scream, and each cold breath is like a knife cutting into the lungs. Many people are buried in the snow, never to be found. Some freeze in their tents, their bodies discovered years later, still intact, as if sleeping in the icy air. Denali doesn't kill with anger, but with harsh silence. There you fight not with enemies, but with your own limits, fear, fatigue, and the will to survive. But because of that, Denali remains the dream of adventurers, a symbol of courage in the face of endless nature. Facing this mountain, humans are no longer conquerors, but just small travelers in the vast ice and snow of the earth. 11. Madidi National Park, Bolivia. In the heart of the mighty Amazon jungle, where rivers intertwine and mists rise, lies a land both beautiful and mysterious. Bolivia's Madidi National Park. From above, it looks like an endless green carpet, but behind its beauty lies a world to which humans never truly belong. Madidi is one of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet, with more than 12,000 species of plants and animals. From colorful birds to black panthers, giant pythons, poisonous snakes, venomous frogs, and countless creatures that science has yet to name. But it's not just the animals that are dangerous, it's also the things you can't see. The natives believe that every tree, every stream, every animal has a soul, and that the Madidi forest is guarded by ancient gods. They say that if a person enters the forest without permission, the forest spirits will cause them to lose their way, go mad, or never find their way out. In 1998, a group of scientists entered the Madidi forest to conduct research. 3 days later, they reappeared, one of them mad, his eyes blank, never to speak again. No one knows what happened in the dense canopy. The Madidi forest is also a maze of natural toxins. Touching the wrong plant can cause burns or paralysis. A bite from a small spider or snake can stop your heart for a few minutes. But the scariest thing isn't the things that can kill you. It's the feeling of being constantly watched, as if the forest is watching you silently without looking away. In Madidi, the line between life and death is as thin as mist. And sometimes, the scariest thing isn't nature itself. It's what humans can't understand. 12. Oymyakon, Russia. In the middle of freezing Siberia, where winters last almost endlessly and the sun only shines for a few hours a day, there is a small village that the world calls by a haunting name, Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth. In winter, temperatures can drop as low as 67.7 degrees, enough to freeze metal, shatter tires, and turn your breath into ice crystals as soon as it leaves your mouth. In Oymyakon, you can just throw boiling water out, and it will turn to ice in midair. Life here is a battle for survival. Cars must run day and night, because if they are turned off, the engine will freeze and never restart. Children still go to school, but only when the temperature drops below 61 degrees are classes allowed to end. It is an unwritten rule and a testament to the resilience of the people in this cold region. The Oymyakon people survive on meat, frozen fish, and reindeer milk, as no crops can grow in this permanently frozen land. The frozen groundwater makes burying the dead difficult. They must light fires in the ground for hours before they can dig a grave. And as the night drew in, the temperature dropped a few more degrees. All sound seemed frozen, only the wind howling like the lament of the white snow. Here, a small mistake, getting lost, losing the fire, or forgetting gloves, could cost a life. However, in the midst of that harsh landscape, people still live, still laugh, still exist. Because for them, Oymyakon is not hell, but the home of the strongest people on the planet. In the midst of that endless frozen world, people realize that sometimes what makes us survive is not the temperature, but the will to never give up. 13. Merapi Volcano, Indonesia. In the middle of Indonesia's fertile Java Island, where lush green rice terraces blend with the white clouds, there is a mountain that always roars silently underground. Mount Merapi, Southeast Asia's most active volcano. The name Merapi means mountain of fire in the local language. And indeed, it never sleeps. From a distance, Merapi looks peaceful, its cloud-covered peak like a peaceful painting. But just below that cloud cover is a boiling sea of lava, ready to rise at any moment. Over the past century, Merapi has erupted dozens of times, sending ash, toxic gases, and streams of red-hot lava rolling down the mountainside at terrifying speeds. In 2010, the largest eruption in recent history claimed more than 350 lives, burying villages and forests in flames. Thousands were evacuated in the night, the glow from lava flows turning the night sky blood red. The entire area shook, the ground split open, and the air smelled of sulfur. Yet, strangely, people still live on the mountainside, right in the danger zone. They believe that Merapi is more than just a mountain. It is the abode of ancestral spirits. For them, each eruption is not a punishment, but a warning from the gods, reminding people to live properly and respect nature. Every year, the people of Java still hold a sacrifice ceremony on the mountainside, offering fruits and offerings, asking Merapi to rest a little longer. But they know clearly, Merapi can get angry at any time. No one can predict it. No one can stop it. 14. Boiling Lake, Dominica hidden deep in the jungle mountains of the small Caribbean island nation of Dominica. There is a strange lake that is constantly bubbling. Boiling Lake, as the locals call it. There is no stream flowing into it, no sun warm enough to boil the surface. Yet the water here is so hot that it steams all day and night. From a distance, Boiling Lake looks like a giant, white-fogged volcanic crater, shrouded in steam rising from its surface. Temperatures around the edges reach 90 degrees Celsius, while the center of the lake boils violently like a giant cauldron melting the earth. Beneath the water are geothermal vents hundreds of meters deep, where hot gas from the earth constantly erupts. The Kalinago people, the ancient indigenous people of Dominica, believe this is where the souls of ancestors return after death and the breath of the afterlife. They say that if you stand too close to the lake, the white vapor will call your name, inviting you back to your eternal source. There have been mysterious expeditions around Boiling Lake throughout history. In 1901, a French survey team entered the Morne-Trois Pitons Mountains to study the Boiling Lake. They recorded a strange phenomenon. The lake rose, then receded within a few hours, revealing a steaming bottom. After that, the expedition disappeared without a trace. When rescuers arrived, they found only scorched pieces of equipment and the steam rising more violently than ever. Boiling Lake is a mystery that no one has yet fully solved. Scientists believe that deep geothermal pockets constantly erupt, keeping the water boiling. But to the people of Dominica, it's not a natural phenomenon. It's a portal between the world of the living and the spirit world. Amid the white mist and the rumbling sounds, you will sense something indescribable, both sacred and terrifying, as if the earth itself is whispering its story. Boiling Lake is not only the most dangerous place in nature, but also the ultimate symbol of nature's absolute power. A place where humans can only stand, silent, and humbled by the incomprehensible power of this world. Mount Merapi is a living symbol of the parallel between destruction and rebirth. After each eruption, the land around the mountain becomes more fertile, trees grow green again, and people continue to live. Amid the smoke and ashes, Merapi reminds humanity that nature does not need humans, but humans are forever dependent on nature.